Greetings from chess.com. I am back to do another video on MCQ. I'll be giving you different options at some critical positions and you will have to guess the best move. So before I proceed, here are some tips on how to make the most of this video. I would suggest that you set up a chessboard next to you, maybe write down your moves and then set a clock or a stopwatch, maybe 2 to 5 minutes per move, and then draw some conclusions after the game is over and then have fun. So let's get started. This is a game between MVL and Rakesh Kulkarni. So since it's his birthday today, I thought it's a good opportunity to visit one of his wins. So it is his win over MVL from the Title Tuesday that happened in 2019. So 2019 Title Tuesday. Let's get started. This was Budapest, and we know that Rakesh plays a lot of Budapest. So let's get started. So after d takes e5, knight g4, knight f3. Here comes your first question. What do you want to do? Do you want to play knight c6 to attack this pawn? Do you want to play bishop b4 check? Do you want to play bishop c5 to attack this pawn? Or do you want to play queen e7? This is quite easy, I know. Most of you know the answer. It is obviously to play bishop to c5. You attack the pawn first. Of course, knight c6 is possible, but then white has bishop f4. Then the game is different altogether. But after knight f3, if you get a chance to play bishop c5, I think you should do it, because in this position white could have played bishop f4, but he played knight f3. So this is actually inviting this line with bishop c5, which is what you must be doing as black. And after e3, knight c6, bishop e2 castles, knight c3, rook e8 castles. This move is very simple, so I won't bother you with the question. Just take the pawn, and after b3 you have your first question. I mean, let's say the second question of the series of this episode. Do you want to play d6, do you want to play a5, or do you want to play knight takes f3? All the three moves seem interesting. I just want to know what is your preference. Okay, if you have chosen d6, I would say that it takes away one very big idea from black. If your move is knight takes f3, kudos, that's a move played by Rakesh. But in this game, you could have actually also played pawn to a5 in this position. Instead of knight f3, a5 is also interesting. So one mark for you if you also do a5. After knight f3, bishop f3, black went knight e5, bishop e2, and in this position again, do you want to play knight takes f3 check? Do you want to play pawn to d6, or do you want to play a5? Okay, kudos if you have chosen a5. That is again a very nice move. d6 is okay, but knight f3 could wait, I think. We have our knight on e5. It's somehow interfering with the bishop on b2. For now, this knight is okay on e5. So knight e5 is fine. Just keep it there. a5 is the strongest move. And after knight e4, again, you have different options. I won't bother you with the question here, because even d6 is fine in this position. But yeah, in the game, Rakesh played bishop f8. And after bishop e2, again, it's your choice. Do you want to play pawn to a4? Intending to go a3 necessary, also intending to shatter pawn structure, because if ba4, then the c4 gets isolated. Do you want to play pawn to d6 to open your bishop next, or do you want to play rook to a6? Okay, I'm going to reveal the move now. In this position, if you chose a4, very good. I will give you 1 point for a4 as well. It's a nice move, but definitely not d6 in this position, because it takes away the big idea, which is rook a6. The rook switch over, because if you play d6, it takes away that idea from black. So that is why I was delaying, hinting at a possible delay of d7, d6, so that this rook can then switch over to the king side and attack on the king side. So kudos if you found rook a6, and after rook a6, knight g3. Again, it's very easy. The next move is easy to spot. No points, but just think for a moment what you would do. It's very easy. Rook h6, because the pawn on h2 is like under target now. Queen can come to h4 very soon. And after knight f5, the rook is attacked. So Rakesh played rook g6. And after e4, now that e4 has been played, Rakesh decided to put his bishop back to c5. And after king h1, he went d6. f4, knight c6, bishop h5. The rook is attacked, but he played bishop takes f5. Now if you take the rook, then he gets two pieces, so ef5. And then after rook h6, queen g4. It's again your turn to play. Queen g4 is actually a mistake. White should have played f6, but after queen g4, it's your turn. What would you do as black? Do you want to play pawn to g6? Do you want to play knight to d4? Do you want to play bishop to d4? Or do you want to play something else? Okay, In this position, the strongest move is bishop d4, which was played by Rakesh. G6 is a possibility, but it weakens the dark squares to an extent, but it's actually one of the strongest moves. But definitely not knight d4, because after knight d4 white has rook a d1, and this knight is actually pinned to a mating thread. You can't really move this knight anywhere because of the mate, and this knight will require further support with rook e4, after which white can play rook f e1, and then white stands better. So bishop d4 is the best move. Congratulations if you found this move. After bishop d4, knight d4, rook a e1, I'm going to give you some options again. Do you want to play g6 to attack this bishop? Do you want to play rook takes e1 and exchange the rooks? Or do you want to play pawn to c5? Okay, in this position, if you chose pawn to c5, it is good. This is a move played by Rakesh. But if you played rook takes e1, then white will have rook takes e1. Still, I mean, it's still possible to play, and black is fine. He can just go king f8, but if you go g6, then after fg6, hg6, queen d1, there's one more move you need to see before taking the bishop, that is knight f5. Then you are better. If you have seen till here, only then you get a point. But after rook a1, he went with c5, but objectively g6 is the strong move. But you need to see that move which I mentioned, that is knight f5. And after c5, Rakesh's opponent MVL played queen g5, and Rakesh played rook f6, and after taking on e8, queen e8, his opponent played g4. Again, a good situation. What would you do as black? Now do you want to play queen to c6 check? Do you want to play queen e4 check? Or do you want to play something else? Okay, in this position, if you chose queen c6 check, it's good enough to win king g1, but it's important to spot knight f3. But even stronger is queen e4, where it also keeps an eye on f5 square, so king g1 is met by knight f3, and it results into the same thing after rook takes f3, queen f3. Black is an exchange up and has amazing chances to win. So Rakesh came very close to a convincing win, but later he gave a lot of chances to his opponent. So let me go to this position. This rook is feeling stuck, and they reach an endgame where MVL was very close to holding in this position. And after king f7, c2, it's a race wherein this pawn is about to get promoted. So Rakesh played king d7, and after f7 he played queen c4, making it difficult for white to promote his pawn. The position is objectively a draw, but MVL tried a little too much after king g7, queen check, king g8, queen d5, king g7, queen e5. And now after queen e5, it's your chance. What would you like to do as white? Do you want to take the pawn on h6? Do you want to play king g6? Do you want to play king h7? Or do you want to play king g8? So in this position, there is only one move that draws, and that is king g8. All the other moves lose. If you play king h7, black has simply got king e7. If you take king takes h6, you will see what happened in the game. But king g8 is a easy way to hold, because there is no good move for black to win, because queen d5, queen e6 are the only two moves that can stop white from promoting, and the game would have been draw. But after king takes h6, Rakesh seized his chance and played queen h8 and king e7, after which he was able to stop these pawns. Then came a very critical position after king g7. There is a forced mate on h6, and now if white plays g5, I hope you see that there is a checkmate on f3. And after f8 queen, he just took king takes f8, and after g5 he played king g7, again threatening queen f3 mate, and after bishop f5 try to spot mate in 3. It's black to move. Okay, there are two ways to checkmate here. One is queen f3, another is queen e2. Rakesh chose queen f3, and after bishop g4 there is queen f7 followed by queen takes g6. So that was how Rakesh Kulkarni checkmated MVL, Maxime Vachier-Lagrave. And it was great, isn't it? I hope you had fun doing the MCQ. Then I hope you also learned a thing or two about how to play actively in the Budapest Gambit. I'll be back with another video soon. Until then, take care. Bye bye.